All right. It's the 23rd of September, 2020. Uh, Thank you, Harry Styles, for singing us into the episode. But we have to stop the song so we don't get into trouble with copyright laws. So, again, welcome. Today's episode actually marks a milestone for the show because we're having our first ever guest. Uh, you might have seen the posters already. We're having attorney Jammy Remulla with us today. So she's someone that I went to law school with, and she was one of the most diligent students in the class. Actually, she eventually finished as the top student of the batch. So she was like, if you missed class or if you needed to ask for tips or resources or, in other words, samplex, you could always go to her and she would never turn you away if she had anything. So, but I'm going to have her give her own introduction of herself or have her give her own elevator speech. So, Jamie, uh, can you?
Hi, Maurice.
Hi, Jamie. All right.
Thank you. Mm-mm.
did,
Yes.
did you hear your introduction?
Yeah, that was a very sweet introduction. And I
Did,
really appreciate it. Oo.
oh, totoo yun.
Kamusta?
Okay lang. That was the truth. That was the truth. That was no, hindi yun joke. So,
Hello. Mm-mm.
ayun.
Sorry,
So,
just to cut you lang, saglit lang ah. Yung term na samplex, ang tagal ko na siyang hindi narinig. Wala lang.
oh yeah, so law students can relate, law
Yeah.
student listeners, you can relate. I'm sure you have your own jammy sa mga schools ninyo or
Oh,
sa
really?
batch.
Yeah.
All right, so uh, can you please introduce yourself na lang to the listeners, yung elevator speech mo?
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm Jammy Remulla. Since law school, I'm a self-proclaimed #legally fashionable. Kung alam mo, di ba, Maurice?
Yeah, wait,
Yes.
yeah, before you continue, yeah, I have to say, because a lot of people commented on the picture.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, like they were saying, pressure naman, ang ayos naman ng guest mo. So, si Jamie is really, she was one of those na if every time she went to class, she was always dressed up. So, mahilig talaga siya sa fashion.
The
So,
fashion, yeah.
all right, please continue.
Yes, yeah. But kidding aside, I am the founder of JK S Remulla Law Office. I specialize in corporate law, labor law, and data privacy. I'm also a certified data protection officer. I am passionate about entrepreneurship. My goal is to help startup companies and support the growth of micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, by providing them, of course, accessible, quality, and cost-effective legal services. I'm advocate of establishing businesses' social responsibility and accountability. I think you're familiar with that CSR through proactive lawyering.
Yeah.
So I hope you're an advocate of proactive lawyering also. I finished JD MBA, Juris Doctor, Master of Business Administration dual degree from FEU LaSalle.
Mhm.
I took the bar in 2014 and passed the bar the following year. Before establishing the firm, I worked as an in-house counsel at Tim Hortons Philippines. And also I work as an associate lawyer at two firms in Makati, one of which is Sisip Salazar, and the other was Pekka Bar Law Office.
Mm.
I've worked with domestic and foreign clients engaged in various industries such as food, accommodation, retail, and manufacturing and services.
Mhm. Okay. Is that it? Is
Yeah,
that
I
all that
think
you want to tell people?
yes. Later na yung iba para lang hindi sila mabore sa akin.
All right, all right. So, uh, Jamie's supposed to be talking to us about retainers, but before her discussion, so for the benefit of our listeners who are currently in law school, or perhaps for the young lawyers who might be interested, I'm going to ask her to talk to us a bit more about the path she took and the idea or the thought process behind it. So, let me ask the question that we always get asked. Did you always want to take up law, or did you always want to become a lawyer?
Sorry, I'm smiling because honestly, I took up law because my dad wanted me to be a lawyer. So, I'm not sure if gusto ko talaga siya. But, I remember lang now na when I was in high school, may pinadrawing sa amin kung ano yung gusto mong maging like after few years, 'di ba? I think I drew like a mall, a big mall. And then a picture of me or like dinrawing ko yung sarili ko, then nakalagay doon lawyer. So since high school pala, I think I'm I was aware na gusto talaga ng dad ko maging lawyer ako. I had a love-hate relationship sa law school and even lawyering. So it took me like almost 10 years, 5 years, or almost 6 years in law school and 5 years in practice to realize that I really want to be a lawyer. So I thought I was not happy with the profession, but I realized that it is not about the profession. It is about finding the right environment or place where you could pursue your passion at the same time practice your profession, because I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship and supporting entrepreneurs. And I just realized na, oh, I really wanted to to be a solo practitioner because it gives me discretion and freedom with regard to talking to clients, especially business clients, and also listening to their legal needs or how they want to grow their businesses. So basically yun.
Yeah, we have to like inform the people na the MBA JD program is actually 5 years. So
Yeah.
some people might be reacting, oh, ang tagal pala 6 years. No, it's because the program really takes a while. It's one more year than the
Yeah.
normal law school.
Yes, and it took me like 6 years kasi I graduated in LaSalle first term. Then second term na ako nag-take ng law school. Tapos I took an LOA. I don't know if you know that. Kasi sabi ko,
That's why naging classmate nga tayo.
stressful pala ng law school. I don't want to. And ayun ganon. Pero nag-inarte lang ako for a term. Then bumalik din ako.
Yeah, what was your undergrad, by the way?
My undergrad was business management, specializing in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so I got that wrong.
Bakit?
Because I thought nga na it was like something related to fashion.
What? Fashion, yeah.
Yeah. I thought na yun, but okay, that's cleared up. So
yeah.
All right. So yung next question ko is like what was the thought process in choosing your law school? So I mean, obviously it worked out well for you. So you graduated top of the class and doors open for you naman professionally, like you just described, and now you're starting your own practice or you have your own law office. But I mean this in the context of there are a lot of offices or companies out there that really only accept applicants who come from a certain list of schools, and that list isn't very long. Were you ever conscious about that back when you were picking which school to attend, or what?
I have to admit again, I had no difficulty in choosing a law school because I only applied in one law school, which was FE LaSalle. I was not that conscious about it because maybe because yung primary consideration ko that time was my undergrad, because I was really passionate, or I'm really passionate about entrepreneurship. And a family friend of ours like said to me na merong bagong program na with MBA. It's the first MBA JD or MBA law school in the Philippines. So, and it's in LaSalle, Makati. So basically, one of my consideration was my comfort zone. Kasi I came from LaSalle, and then yung another LaSalle campus lang siya. So punta lang ako doon. So parang lilipat lang ako ng LaSalle campus. So medyo naging bias din ako kasi alma mater, diba? So, but in a sense, I took the MBA JD because I really want to take MBA. I wanted to take MBA that time because hindi siya talagang gusto ko talaga mag-law. I want to have a value added dun sa pagte-take up ko ng law eh. So that's why yun yung one of my considerations also in choosing my law school. But for those who want to take up law, I think you have to consider first is their reputation and the credibility of the law school. So is the law school performing in the bar examination? Because I feel the law school it matters in a sense that it prepares you for the preparation or it prepares you for the bar exam. And also, of course, they have to consider the cost or tuition fee or the quality of education. Maybe that time it was not my consideration, and I'm really blessed because it wasn't my consideration at all. But I understand I mean, law school is not that cheap or it's expensive
Yep.
actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have to consider the cost and tuition fee and kung saan talaga tawag dito, um, affordable but quality education. Then the list of professors, I'm not sure kasi that time hindi ko naman alam sino ba yung mga sikat na professor. But I'm really happy and blessed in our school kasi we have a good set of professors, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Very known in their own fields and also like very good like good
Yeah.
lectures also for the bar exam. And they have also to consider the location. So yung location kasi it matters for me kasi nung time nung naglo-law school ako, I had a condo in Makati. So naglalakad lang ako. So it's not kasi when you study, 'di ba? It's
Mhm.
hard din na parang magko-commute ka pa, ang tagal-tagal mong I've known people na yung parang they had difficulty in law school because of their work and because of the location. And and lastly, I think they have to consider or to feel the culture of the school. So I think I'm really happy na yung culture nung FEU Lasal was very ano ba it's like chill in a sense. Ewan ko I mean more chill. Tama ba, Maurice?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oo,
Yes, I
I mean,
agree.
kasi law school is, anyway, it will take you out of your comfort zone eh. Kahit regardless of any law school, it will take out of your comfort zone. Kahit sabihin mo alma mater mo yan ng undergrad. But having a good culture, meaning hindi ka masyadong pressured ka lang dahil sa professor. I mean, the law school itself is pressured na. So, yung iiyak ka na lang, ganun, di ba? It's like the mismong ng law school. But I think culture is also very important in terms of like, it will come back to the reputation and credibility. So, yun.
Yeah, about the professors, actually magcha-chime in lang ako that
Yes, sure.
for someone who well yeah, I went to my first law school was actually that school in Rockwell. So if I can compare like professors, solid yung professors natin sa FU Lasal. Like honest opinion lang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they came from like
Yeah, parang sila lang
very
din. Same
credible. Oh,
people.
sila lang, same
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and yes.
Yun. So, right. So, since you mentioned about the MBA, just a curious question. Was yeah, I mentioned that there was one time I was at a hearing and I bumped into one of our former schoolmates.
Yes.
So I'll just mention nga si BJ Palatao. So
Hi, PJ.
yeah, if you're listening.
Yeah.
And I asked him, are you able to apply the MBA now to your current practice? And is it a big edge? I mean, I actually, honestly, I don't remember. Yeah, I remember his answer, but let's hear your answer, Jamie. Like I want you to tell people like if there's what's the advantage to having an MBA like to your law practice.
Well, it will help you to grasp the business perspective side of your client. In a sense that you know that legal compliance or the legal matters would actually help them in minimizing their risk, in minimizing their costs, in kasi it would be part of their legal risk assessment in the future. Like in terms of, are they complying with the law right now? Then ano yung mga financial risks related to such things, and how they operate as a whole. So titingnan mo din yun. You have to appreciate the business itself of your client. Well, as a corporate lawyer, it's helpful. I'm not sure more of sa litigation, of course. But sige, sabihin natin yung mga SWOT analysis, yung TOWS analysis, pwede din naman, di ba? Parang in establishing your own law firm, di ba? It's not, at least you have an advantage na, this is my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and my, ano ba yung toes? I forget the threats, di ba? Di ba? So, it's like, kasi if you build a law firm, it's like you're building also a business. I know it's sinasabi, di ba, our profession is not a, it's a noble profession, but then we have to face the reality. Of course, we also doing
it's also a business.
Yeah. Yes. And then it's a matter of I think it is helpful for me because I'm a corporate lawyer, and I'm applying it in a sense that I'm building like a new business model. No, not really naman a new business model, but I really want to apply it into my retainer clients. Kasi kapag kinakausap ko sila, what's your vision? What's your mission as a business? As a business, kasi I want to grow with you. So at least yung legal compliance, it's one of the objectives. It should be one of the objectives or one of the goals of the company or of your clients, para sabay kayo, you're consistent with the mission, with the goals, and etc. So I think nandun yung appreciation na there's a value added kapag kunwari may sinabi lang yung client mo. So I know that. I know to strategize. I know how to to look at things in a business perspective way. Kasi yung iba, I'm not sure, but siguro sa practice na lang nila nakukuha din yun. But in a sense, sa MBA, at least we learned a lot in different aspects, especially in corporate social responsibility and business ethics, diba? So, yun.
Alright. So since you mentioned nga corporate law practice, did you always plan on going corporate ba, or did you find out along the way? I know you touched on it a bit, but yun, like if you're talking about plan, did you always plan on going corporate from the start?
Yes, because it is actually being embedded, or it was embedded to us during law school by Dean Bao. So, kasi,
Shout out Dean Bao.
Hi Dean Bao, wherever you are. It was actually always, diba, Dean Bao always reminded us, or have always reminded us before na, kasi the program is also for you to be a corporate lawyer. Kasi yun yung vision ng school Hindi naman maging litigation lawyer or human rights lawyer. Kasi even in law school, there's such a thing as specialization, diba? I mean, meron talaga. Like in La Salle yata, there are more human rights. I'm not sure in other school. But in our school, yun talaga yung gusto ni Dean Bao na we become corporate lawyer. So it has always been my plan. But I tried litigation for some time in Pecabar. But litigation is interesting actually. It's very interesting and it's very helpful. Kasi kung hindi mo alam yung litigation practice, if you're going to solo practice, it's gonna be hard in a sense na kasi most of the cases that will go that you will will be asked about or litigation cases because clients tend to be reactive than proactive. So yun, but litigation is not for me.
I agree, it's not for everyone. Although I am in litigation.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not for everyone.
Yeah, natawa lang ako kanina when we mentioned Dean Bao because yeah, I
Yeah.
remember the very first day nga, yun yung that's what he was selling na business law talaga, corporate law.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, natawa lang ako just remembering it. So,
Hi,
anyway.
Dinbao, wherever you are.
Yeah. So, yeah, since you already mentioned about litigation nga. So, like after your firms and yeah, so you went to Tim Hortons, right? You mentioned. So,
Yeah.
if it's just interesting because it's Tim Hortons. So is it fine if we ask how it was like
Yeah.
working for Tim
Yeah.
Hortons? Did you get like free donuts or coffee?
Well, I think we got employees like privileges in a sense that kapag may promo, we know the promo ahead of time. But no, it's the culture at Tim Hortons said that they don't provide employees discount. So it's their culture kasi, or it's their policy. But working at Tim Hortons gave me a different perspective because I work at two firms, diba? So
Mhm.
working in an in-house or in a corporate setup gave me another perspective. So dun ako na I learned more about legal audit and about how the management decide things and how the management works. So it gives me like a different perspective. That's what I appreciated. That's what I appreciate about working at Tim Hortons.
Sayang naman kasi their coffee is really good.
Yeah. Hi guys sa mga taga TH family ko.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, their products and even the food, favorite ko yung grilled cheese nila. And the wraps.
Right. So yeah. So after Tim Hortons, what made you decide to start your own office? Like yeah, how did it
Yeah.
happen?
One day I just woke up. This is literal I just woke up na, I wanted to, talaga to start my own firm. I really wanted to go back here in Cavite and start my own firm. And I talked to my parents and they supported me. And they're really like excited about it. Kasi I tried working at firms na. I tried na rin as an in-house counsel. So, but I felt that time that in-house or working as an in-house counsel is will not actually help me or maximize my full potential as a lawyer, and especially as a corporate lawyer. I have this passion, burning passion to help entrepreneurs, our country, and of course to serve God. So I feel that I could pursue that passion um by
Having your
building
own
my
office.
own firm. Yeah, by building my own firm and working with people na here in Cavite. Of course, I want to give back here also, here in Cavite. That's one of my reasons also.
All right. So yeah, since you mentioned that you had you have worked in a firm or you have firm experience. So just a question: we're gonna jump into the retainer topic already. So were you already aware of how retainers worked while you were in the firms? Because honestly, ako when I was with my first office, I really did not know about retainers. Like I was just absorbing or learning, but I never bothered to learn what is a retainer.
Yeah,
So
'cause, mm,
was it the same with you or what?
mm, I've worked with a lot of retainer clients before, especially in SISIP because uh, bulk of my work is in special in corporate setup. Kasi we have budget So, mostly yung work ko corporate talaga. So, we have this department or division in SISIP na we call corporate services. So, usually yung mga retainer clients namin for corporate housekeeping, for legal advice, and etc. Di inaano nila yan, ina-assign nila sa mga associates. Of course, partners would assign to associates. So, yes, I've worked with a lot of retainer clients before. And
Mm.
some of my retainer clients, like may mga favorite retainer clients din ako. They gave me like food, and I attended some of their like board meetings, stockholders meetings, and like I ate a lot during their meetings. But yeah, yun yung perks kasi. Yun yung one of the perks. And you really I had an opportunity to meet a lot of people also, and to talk to a lot of business owners also.
Mhm. Okay. So, right. So we're gonna go right into retainers na. So,
Yes.
since we started talking about retainers anyway, so what exactly, for the benefit of our like listeners, non-lawyer listeners, or business owner listeners, what exactly does it mean to have a lawyer on retainer? I mean, or yeah, what exactly is a retainer, or what does it mean? Ganun.
Yes. Hiring a lawyer on a retainer basis means hiring a counsel for a certain period of time on a regular basis, and you pay your lawyer on a regular basis, usually monthly basis siya. So it somehow you have a lawyer every month to call, on call siya. So in a layman's term, kasi sometimes if you discuss to clients yung retainer, they won't get it easily until you say to them, are you familiar with accountant retainer agreement? Yung mga sa accountant, mas familiar sila. So it's almost the same thing. It's like but instead of providing accounting services, we provide legal services.
All right. So, uh, yun. Uh, yung next question ko actually is ano, is it only a business owner that would stand to benefit so much from having a retainer, or uh, what about the individual party? Like, what, let's say there's someone, he just feels like, I feel like I want a retainer. I'm gonna hire this lawyer as a retainer. Eh, what benefit would it bring that person? So, or basically the question, I guess, is who would benefit really from having a lawyer on retainer, and how?
Hmm. Actually, anyone who has constant legal needs or simply wants a lawyer on call. I have individual and business retainer clients. So but usually, for example, an individual, um, usually individual clients ko, they have business dealings din eh. They invest into certain things, or they have like certain dealings lang din, and they want to be like to have peace of mind or someone to call on whenever like the legal matter arises. So yun, any entrepreneur could actually hire a retainer to improve his or her business and to attain their growth and longevity of the business. So, kasi, yun nga eh, we business owners, and actually, people as, humans, di ba, we tend to be reactive than proactive, di ba? So, I think anyone would who has constant legal needs, or who want to who wants to have peace of mind, na parang I just really want to have a retainer counsel, and gusto o baka kasi may mga past or previous experiences na rin sila, na in a sense na they needed the lawyer and wala silang matawagan. It's really hard to find a lawyer na talagang,
That's
of
true.
course, there's Google. There's Google, but then
Yeah.
it's really difficult then kasi tatawag ka pa, and then you have to inquire, and hindi naman siya agad-agad na the lawyers will, or the firms will reach you out, or will revert to you, 'di ba? Immediately. So, and then before a lawyer talk to you, sometimes yun nga, may mga fees na. So, depende. So, yun yung I think anyone who has constant legal needs or simply wants a lawyer on call, then beneficial talaga yung retainer for them.
All right. So siguro yung if I understood it right, like
Mm.
anybody, as in absolutely anybody, not necessarily a business owner,
Yes,
can avail of or can get a lawyer on retainer, but it just so happens that uh, it's usually the business owners that have more needs, and that's why
Yes.
it ends up that it ends up with them having the or getting lawyers on retainer.
Yeah, and may I add, actually, I don't, if I feel that a prospective client doesn't need a retainer, I will tell him na, or her na, you won't need kasi ito lang naman pala yung kailangan mo. Of course, you really have to be transparent na there's a tendency, I'm sorry if no offense, but there's a tendency na parang of course baka kasi you want to gain something or as a lawyer ganyan. But kung gusto niya talaga okay sige, okay lang. But if you kasi may tinatawag ako in our firm, we customize our engagement proposal. At the start of the engagement proposal or every retainer engagement proposal or agreement, we usually ask our clients with several questions. Basically, what's the nature of your business and what are the usual legal needs that you have in a month and how many employees you have, how ano yung mga do you have a lot of cases from time to time. So yun kasi sometimes I have like an individual retainer client na uh, in a month meron pero in 1 month marami. So depende din if it is a regulated business. So a regulated business yung for example you're like a mining company. So there are a lot of compliance requirements, diba, with certain government agency. It's also a factor for us to maybe increase our retainer fee because we expect that we will be doing a lot for them. So hindi siya no hard and fast rule. Wow. No hard and fast rule in because we customize and tailor fit the engagement to our clients' needs. And I think ganyan din dapat. I mean, di ba? Not every case is
I
is
actually like that concept.
mm, mm.
You customize the retainer agreement. I actually like that.
Yeah,
That's good.
and also just to add, kasi in a retainer, you're building a relationship with your client. Um, it actually yun yung one of the benefits is if yun yung in-explain in our firm, we explain that we want to grow with your business and as much as possible, I want to know more about your business and paano? Kasi tendency, parang medyo baka yung iba nagugulat sila na I have a lot of questions before they engage me. Kasi of course, business owners, being business owners, they're the main consideration that they have, of course, the finances, kung magkano, diba?
Yeah,
But the
which is
way,
understandable.
yeah, very understandable. But I always tell my clients or prospective clients that I really want to build relationship with them and I want to grow with them also. Since my firm is also starting, um, I also want to grow with them.
All right. So, uh, yun, I actually saw this posted on your firm's page. So, but I wanted to have you discuss a little more, siguro. What are really the biggest advantages to having a retainer?
Yeah. So first is exclusivity. In a sense na a lawyer provides vital assistance in almost every aspect of your business. And having, kasi hindi naman sorry sa mga regular clients, but of course, kasi you already, when you have a retainer client, you already building relationship with them. So iba yung relationship sa transactional basis lang na uh, we have special projects lang. Kasi your retainer, like every month mo sila nakaka-deal. So, like, I have like a retainer client na for 2 years ko na siyang retainer client. And recently, he told me that I've been very helpful sa kanya. And he's really sweet about to tell that because whenever may kailangan siya, I always like, I know, okay, it's like my retainer client. I always give priority. Of course, every ano naman case should be a priority, but it's unrealistic, diba?
Mm,
Very unrealistic kasi syempre yung work ng lawyers, hindi naman siya, we're not perfect human beings. I
yeah.
mean, syempre yung tendency ng minds natin, ng brains natin. Of course, we stop working at a certain point of time in a day
Yeah.
because it's really very energy consuming yung brains mo na de-drain din siya eh. But yun, that's one of the ano, yung exclusivity and
Yeah.
yung in a, you built a relationship with your lawyer na. So it will give you peace of mind. So
Mm-hmm.
if you really have a good relationship with your counsel na, so it will give peace of mind na every time na you have a legal concern or fine any concern na kahit siguro not too hindi masyadong related sa legal, you have your lawyer on call na parang, oh, attorney, parang may problem. So, yun, at least like a few minutes lang naman to discuss. At least, 'di ba, hindi na hindi sila it will give peace of mind na lalo na business owners, they have especially business owners, ang dami nilang iniisip, 'di ba?
I actually
So,
want to like I have like something to add later on about ano yung na-mention mo na tumawag yung client. But
oo,
yeah, please
yeah.
continue lang.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You'll have a peace of mind knowing that you have the comfort of immediate legal advice at your fingertips. Like, mapa-Viber, mapa-phone yan, or email man lang. A retainer agreement keeps you in close line with your lawyer. And a retainer, of course, it also provides you security by reviewing and negotiating your agreements. Kasi kasama yan sa, ano, sa, it could be included in the retainer agreement, that you have someone to review your contracts or attorney pa review lang this or anything. Like, it will give you peace of mind, and it will actually help you also to for business owners, and for like individual clients na if you have a lawyer on retainer, your lawyer would actually uh, train you or discipline you in a sense na proactive tayo dapat. So nakikita
Yeah.
na ng retainer counsel mo na, oops, we cannot do that because it will entail it will cause or it might result in litigation or in other kind of legal matters, 'di ba? So
Yeah.
that's what we do. We minimize risk for them as their retainer. Kasi if it is just a transactional basis, wala na tayong malalaman about their like businesses.
Yeah.
We won't anymore like no kasi syempre limited lang yung transaction, limited lang yung scope of services. And the other advantage is efficiency. If your business or if the client requires constant legal work, paying a retainer fee is far more affordable than hiring
Every
a
single
lawyer
time.
every single time and
Yeah.
hiring an in-house counsel. So, 'di ba? 'Di ba? I well, I think so. I think so kasi um look for like let us say for a transactional like contract review, it could be like 15,000 above depending on the I know. It's like
That's how much you charge for a contract review?
no, 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 no. It's just like an example. That's like a typical, 'di ba? Parang like depende pa yan sa complexity of the matter or the nature of the contract. So, if you have kasi usually a retainer agreement involves a review of agreements in the ordinary course of business. So, meron tayong diyang disclaimer na except kapag nagkaroon na ng extensive research studies and like complex talaga yung matters, it would be covered by separate engagement. But then again, it is far more affordable than hiring a lawyer on a single
Transaction,
basis
yeah.
or on a transactional basis. And lastly is the convenience. There's no need to look for a lawyer every time you have a legal need. Diba yung kanina pinag-usapan lang natin, it's really hard to book a consultation and you have to research pa.
Yeah.
And not every lawyer is accessible or you could find in
Facebook.
Google, in Facebook, even in Facebook. So that's my I know that we have a code of professional responsibility, and we are not allowed as lawyers. We're not allowed to advertise our services,
Mhm.
but I am a advocate of accessible legal services, especially during this pandemic, 'di ba?
Yeah.
We realize na it's time to to maximize or to use or utilize digital platforms,
Yeah.
especially for us lawyers, diba? So yeah, a retainer service gives you the convenience of having legal guidance without worrying about the cost of each phone call and or consultation. Kasi every consultation, how much do you charge?
Yeah.
Sige, yung provincial rate na lang tayo. Here, 500 pesos for 15 minutes. But in my website, I usually charge like 1.5 to 2.5. But depende yun, di ba? So some lawyers in one sitting they charge 5,000 pesos.
Wait,
So it depends.
let me
Oo.
ask about that. Like, you collect before you give advice. Like, if they don't pay you, you're not gonna be giving advice talaga. Ganon yung.
In my website, uh, we have payment before we provide consultation. But it depends actually. If like we have clients that referred to us and retainer clients, of course.
Mhm.
Retainer clients, of course, could seek advice in a
Unli,
routine.
unli,
Unleashed. That's why
unli
you have
tanong.
only tanong. So but kasi I really wanted everything to be efficient then. That's why we have this website na you have to book and then pay. Then 'di ba? It's more efficient for both the parties to book with like payment na. But if physical meeting or referral and retainer clients, they don't have to pay consultation. Depende yan kasi if case na or if we feel naman na you don't have to pay a consultation fee. But of course, some lawyers do, 'di ba? Once na na. So and yeah.
So yun yung ano. Yeah, actually, that's
Oo.
a good ano. Noted. All right. So, yeah, yung next question ko, yun yung it's related to what you mentioned earlier nga. So, what exactly is covered under a retainer? Because there's not a shortage of like stories na like I had this friend who was saying na I'm so tired grabe yung retainer namin, kulang na lang. Tanungin niya ako, attorney, pwede ba akong kumain? Or pwede ba akong pumunta sa labas? Parang ganun eh. Like, and sometimes it's not even related to law. Parang magtatanong lang na, attorney,
Yeah.
anong ginagawa mo? Like,
Mm-mm.
is that covered by a retainer? What exactly is the like
Yes.
boundary ba or
Yeah.
what is covered under a retainer agreement? Yun yung
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I think it's good to manage the expectations of your retainer clients or your clients at the start of the engagement pa lang, and to discuss to them the scope of services under the retainer agreement and also the engagement agreement. So typically, a retainer engagement includes routine consultations on various aspects of Philippine law and drafting and review of contracts in the ordinary course of business. So if it will require the lawyer to have extensive studies or research or review of like a lot of documents, then it um, might be covered by a separate engagement, especially kapag litigation na yan. There are certain services that are not included in the retainer agreement. And the retainer agreement or engagement could include also the drafting and review of certain legal documents such as affidavits, deeds, in the ordinary course of business also. Sometimes we do also corporate housekeeping. We draft their minutes of the meeting, their reportorial requirements, and of course the provision of legal opinions and advice. Actually, one of the advice sa akin of one of the lawyers that we have in my business organization, yung BNI. You're familiar with that.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
he told me na some lawyers do daw na in a retainer agreement, they have this maximum set number of hours phone consultation. Like for a month. So kunwari for this certain amount of monthly retainer, you could only call your retainer counsel for 4 hours a month. So, bibilangin mo yun. So, if you exceed the 4 hours, may bayad na. For me, it makes sense also. Kasi, syempre, maybe the disadvantage of retainer agreement is maybe it tends to be abused by the clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. But kasi in a business and in our profession, building relationship is really important. So I think I want mine to answer their like queries. And of course, as a lawyer, you really have to manage your expectations, and you have the right to, as their consultant, you have the right to set the boundaries. Na, I'm sorry, I apologize, but this is beyond my engagement. So you could actually, parang we could discuss this, and we will send you an engagement proposal for this matter. Usually in a retainer agreement, naka-specify din naman dun yung mga hindi kasama, such as tax proceedings, litigation proceedings, labor cases, and etc. Also, but for me, advice ko lang, if for me, it's really you really build a relationship with your client and with your retainer client, because your retainer client could give you also other matters. So
Yeah.
it will like give you a lot of matters, such as if they need assistance in litigation matters, if they have special projects, and once they grow, diba? So
Mhm.
yun lang din. It's like it's okay. Do I understand kasi sa associate level, hindi mo ma-appreciate yun eh. If you're in a partner level, kasi ikaw talaga yung um, build na ng relationship eh.
Mhm.
But if sa mga like solo practitioners like us,
Mhm.
or to people or to lawyers na who want to have their own law firms, yeah, my advice is to not think of the services or the amount of services or like yung profits, wag mo na yun. It's really you have to build relationships with your clients, with your stakeholders, with your employees in every aspect. That's really important. Kasi parang in a way babalik ka siya sa'yo. You will reap the benefits of building good relationships with your clients. So
Yeah.
yun lang. Mm.
Wise words.
Mm.
All right. So, I think the last question that I have here, it's actually a little touchy, but
Wow.
yeah, yeah. But how do you determine the proper fees, or how do you come up with your fees? And diba, that's what we always get. Attorney, can I have a discount? Do you entertain discounts ba? Ganun. How does it work ba for you?
Yes. For me, di ba we have different in our code of professional responsibility. The fees should be fair and reasonable, di ba? Of course, the nature of the case or the matters. So yeah, you will kaya it's better to discuss muna with your clients kung ano ba talagang legal needs niya. Kung hanggang saan yung kailangan niya, the scope of services to be provided, and the complexity of the issue. Will it require extensive studies, research, and like review of documents? And yun yung usual kasi sinasabi ko sa mga clients ko na in terms of quoting my legal fees, yun, usually the nature of the case or the matter, the complexity of the issue or the matter, and uh, the actually the amount of time that you will put into that matter will be uh, I also consider that. So
And,
yun.
and all these considerations naman are, sorry, excuse me, are you explain these to the client?
Yeah, you
Mhm.
really have to be transparent to your
Mhm.
client at the start of the engagement
Yeah.
because I understand there are some clients na nagrereklamo sila because hindi na-explain sa kanila na hanggang dito lang yung services.
And
Yeah,
has that
I
happened?
understand.
Has that
No,
happened?
to me, no,
Yeah.
not personally, but to some yata I've heard na, especially in litigation cases na, I think client maybe kasi syempre baka hindi nila binasa na yung engagement proposal mo na hanggang trial court lang tapos appellate hindi nakasama. So, yun din, you really have to be transparent then. And every time, what I do is I remind my clients na if I feel, so, sometimes it's intuitive din eh, papakiramdaman mo yung kliyente mo na if you feel na, oh, parang there's a tendency na iba yung iba yung intindi niya or understanding niya. So,
Yeah.
papakiramdaman mo din. And you really have to manage the expectations at the start pa lang. So,
Uh,
para clear lahat.
yeah, I have my own stories about that, yung collection, but it's for another day.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yung hindi nila naintindihan yung nasa contract or sa agreement.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my last question actually. But
What?
to is there anything that you'd like to add? By you think there's anything I missed or anything I failed to ask?
I
Or
think you mentioned, I don't know kung napag-usapan natin siya, yung if I want to be called attorney or
oh
what.
yeah, no.
Because it's a nice
Yeah,
topic. And you
yeah.
really, and I have an opinion about that. So,
All right, sige. For the listeners, I was telling Jamie earlier that I have this like story about one of my former professors who who was my opposing counsel for one case, and well, I don't want to mention his name, and if I describe him, he's very easy to like it's very easy to find out who I'm talking about because aside from being a lawyer, he's also an MD or a doctor. And
mhm.
when we were in court one day, uh, the client talked to my former professor and asked him, "How do I address you? Should it be doc? Should it be attorney?" And he said, "Just call me plain blank. Just call me my name." And it stuck with me that you know, we live in a country that puts high value on titles,
Yeah.
and but personally, I don't mind not being called attorney, and that's what I wanted to ask Jamie. So, Jamie, what input do you have for that?
Yeah. Actually, I think my clients could attest to this that I don't like being called attorney. And actually, no offense to our, I know, to other lawyers. I also I don't see calling attorney to attorney. I mean, it's like ano, parang redundant. What if I call you attorney Morris, diba? So, but kasi yeah, in some jurisdictions, meaning in some countries, they don't use attorney kasi. So I've worked in one of the firms that have a good culture talaga na first name basis kami, which is in SISIP. So yun, first name basis talaga. So I was dealing with clients, foreign clients that we call each other sa first name basis. So nadala ko yung habit na yun. And eventually I realized na it's not about the title and it's about kasi parang tendency kasi I think one of the advice that I could give you um, is build relationship talaga. It's parang you're building rapport and warmth with your client in a sense na, oh, just call me Johnny. And you don't have to call me attorney. But they tend to, to call you, pero nahiya pa rin sila eh. Like at certain point, babalik niyo naman sila, attorney, ganyan-ganyan. But don't call me, attorney kasi it's, I won't mind. But I know it's really important because we worked hard for it.
Yes,
I mean, the
exactly.
title.
Yeah.
But I won't mind if you call me Jamie or attorney. But I really love calling parang people calling me by my first name. First name.
You
Kasi,
prefer the
oh
first
yeah,
name over the title.
yeah. And
Mhm.
even to my friends and to my family, please don't call me attorney because like, kilala niyo naman ako ever
Yeah,
since. So, yun
yeah,
lang.
yeah. I mean, uh, I'm not gonna stop people
Yeah.
from calling, or diba, we don't stop people from calling us the title, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we don't really mind if I mean I'm speaking for myself. I don't mind if you don't call me that. I mean,
Yes.
but at the same time, I also know of other firms that really impose like you should call the lawyer attorney, and
Oh, okay.
I guess it's really deeply embedded in some firms or in some cultures, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. But at
Yes.
least for I mean, we're speaking for our own selves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sentiment. We don't really mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and before, yeah, we jumped to another topic, but I was like trying to wrap it up uh,
Yeah.
about retainers.
Mm.
So, I mean, based on everything that Jamie discussed, I guess my own interpretation of it, or to simplify everything that we talked about the last what half hour ba,
Mm.
simplify what Jamie discussed was that basically having a retainer lawyer allows you as a business owner to just focus on running your business and leaving the worrying to your lawyer. And
Yes.
that's exactly what you're paying the lawyer for.
Yes.
So, and well, this is it gives you the confidence, or it allows you to say that line that we always hear in movies or TV dramas na talk to my lawyer, or
Yes.
I'll see you
Yes.
in court, because you actually have, if you have a retainer or a
Yes.
lawyer on retainer, you actually do have one. So, and that's exactly what they will do. The lawyer will actually talk to whoever you had a confrontation with.
Yes.
So just a little bonus.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, unfortunately, we're not live yet. So I'm working on
Yeah.
that. I'm working on that.
Soon.
But yeah, but so we don't have any questions from our any listeners, and so
Maybe they could leave like comments no to you,
yeah, that's
Mars.
a
And
good
if you
idea. Yeah.
have questions to me, just tell me.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
I'll get to that. I'll have Jamie. Yeah, please talk a bit about your firm. Like aside from uh, like having retainers, joke lang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what services or specializations
Mm.
does your firm offer, and like how can they get in touch with you, and where is the office located? And
Yes.
yeah, that's where I will be forwarding any questions that might be dropped in the comment section.
Yes.
Right. Right.
So JKS Remulla Law Office is a full service firm. We provide various services to individual and business clients. As a firm, we provide litigation services. We provide services connected to commercial law, to labor law. But as mentioned before, I specialize in corporate law, civil law, labor law, and data privacy law. We're based here in Bacoor, Cavite. You may reach out us through our website at www.jksremullalaw.com or through our Facebook page, JKS Remulla Law Office. So, but we prefer our clients to book via online through our website. Did I miss anything?
Um, is that all that you wanna
Yes,
say
that's
about your
all.
firm? All right.
Yes,
Anyone you wanna greet or shout
yes.
outs?
I want to greet like my best friend, Denise Navarro. It's
Yes,
her
yes, yes.
birthday.
Yeah, yun nga, birthday niya.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday. Happy birthday,
Denise! And also,
Denise.
it's also my one of my closest friends' birthday, Riza. Happy birthday, Riza! So happy birthday, Denise and Riza.
All right. So thank you again so much, Jamie, for making time. Like you were telling
Yes,
me yesterday, you weren't even really feeling very good.
yes,
So
yes, yes.
thank you for making the time and being on the podcast.
And
I'm
thank you,
I'm
God, for this.
yeah,
Yes,
thank you, God.
you
And
know.
I'm sure you inspired a lot of listeners today.
I'm
And
hoping. I'm really hoping.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, malay natin in the future, if it lasts long, you're always welcome to guest again. Maybe you can lend
Yes,
your
of
any
course.
other expertise like on another topic or another
Yes,
subject.
yes. And I
All
could
right.
help you like inviting guests.
Oh, sige, sige, I'd
Sige,
appreciate that.
yeah, I would. I would.
All right,
And
so
good luck and congratulations to your podcast, Mars. We really had
thanks.
fun
Yeah, thanks.
conversing. And yeah, it's really a good topic. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
inviting me. Thank
Of
you.
course, of course. All right, so all right, guys. So this episode is a wrap. Hopefully, you'll be back again for the next episode. Please stay tuned lang for the announcement about the next guest. I'm still finalizing it, or I'm still inviting. And if you like today's show, please like, follow, and subscribe. I never thought I'd say that.
Like
Please
and subscribe.
like, follow, and subscribe to the page so you can get updates as soon as they're posted, and you don't have to keep pressing and checking. All right. So
Okay.
see you next time. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.